Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about UHC Duels tips and tricks. Since I play this game mode a lot, I have a lot of experience. Obviously I'm not the best, but I do have a couple tips and tricks up my sleeve, and since I'm like a 300 ping player, I think this would help honestly everyone, not just low ping players. Alright, let's get right into the video. Enjoy. First off, is where do you aim during fights. Most people don't really care about this, they just aim simply at the other player's body, which of course is correct, but the first and best part you should always aim at is the feet, as it gives better reach and just better hits in general, and easily allows combos to build up. As to why aiming for feet gives you better reach, I have no clue, but it literally does. As you can see for this footage, I'm simply just aiming for his feet. We'll try to aim for his feet. Most of the time I need to tell myself that I need to aim for the feet, and it's honestly just a better way to get combos. As you can see, the guy gives up and I win the duel. Number 2, use blocks in build UHC, for God's sake. So build UHC gives you blocks. Not many people really use blocks other than to flex bridging, which is honestly just stupid. Use the blocks to your advantage. Make pillars to block arrows or rod shots, make them run into walls, even hit walls, or misplace lava, or even getting them glitched in a block, which just guarantees you a win. I use this strategy a lot since I have high ping. It really helps me. I prefer using blocks over rods most of the time. This can also be used as an intimidation tactic. I know that sounds dumb, but most of the time when I do it, people sometimes do end up leaving, or they just run away, which is, I guess, most of the time good since you scare them, so they're not really confident in fighting you. But that's just another reason to use it. So blocks, just use them. I mean, it's called build UHC. And you get given blocks. Don't use them to bridge. Just please never use them to bridge. It is cringy. No one cares about your bridging in UHC. It is not a part of UHC, and you will just take 4 damage. But yeah, as you can see in this clip, I end up using blocks to help me fight, and I barely scratched the win actually. He was a really good opponent. But yeah, as you can see from that, it's good. Number 3, CPS and accuracy. Of course, a ton of people keep saying you don't really need high CPS. Yes, low ping players don't normally need good left click CPS, but high ping players on the other hand, I would really recommend getting high clicks per second. From 8 to 16 clicks per second is really good left click speed. Don't really need to get higher than that, but more important, you need to focus on accuracy. Accuracy is really important in a match. I'm not talking about the accuracy percentage you get at the end of the match. I'm talking where you aim with your mouse. It's really important and makes a huge difference if you focus on it. Believe you me. This is super important. As you can see, I'm literally just focusing on my clicks per second at the top. I can't really show accuracy. You can see that throughout the other clips, but right now I'm just showing my clicks per second. It's really important factor in PvP, clicks per second and accuracy. Most of the time, if you do take into account the percentage accuracy, most of the time the person with the most accuracy wins. But sometimes people can just be fooling around and clicking while you're not even close, so that can affect the percentage. But other than that, really focus on these 2 things, and I lost the duel. Very sad. Number 4, get crits. They do way more damage than normal shots, and even catches most people off guard, like this Mega Sweat, for example. Yes, he did trash talk me after, but I won, and I won quick, so that's the point. Get crits. Look at this person. He doesn't even know what's happening. I'm just getting crits like crazy. GG. Number 5. Don't use your heads quickly, save your heads for bad moments or certain choke points in the 1v1. Most people always use their heads straight away, which just lowers their chance of winning the duel. Of course, most of the time you can see me in some of the clips simply straight away using my heads. I only do this because I know I'm gonna out-crit the player and win the duel quickly. But if you want a higher chance to win, save your head. As you can see in this clip, it is indeed a much longer duel, but I end up killing the guy in a super safe way. And if other people use heads, guess what guys? You do not have to copy them. Run away and don't use a head. Just use a normal grapple. It's that simple. Heads have a massive change in battles. Once people use them, they're most likely gonna push you, which I'll explain later, but you want to save your heads, trust me. Once they're out of heads and you still have what, 1, 2 or even 3 heads left, you can simply just use them all the time, since you can just catch up to them, kill them, and it's literally that easy. But make sure you save your heads if you really want to win the fight. This is especially important when you verse really skilled players. They will always use heads close when you're dead, so definitely be prepared to use gaps. That doesn't mean don't use a head. Also, don't be afraid to use a head. That's important. Most people are too scared to use a head, so they run away. Use heads as well. Number 6. I don't know why I didn't put this first. I probably just forgot. But of course, edit your inventory. It's important you have everything in a comfortable slot. And right now I'm showing everyone where it is in the Duels menu for Hypixel. So be sure to edit your inventory and good luck. Number 7. How to get away from players. So simply just run away from the player. You can jump and perfectly time a water bucket and then just pick up the water again. Or just knock the person away from you if you feel confident, and if you know any dub tap, S tap or any other tap strategies. Sadly, I couldn't really show it off too well in this clip since the other person wasn't exactly the most threatening opponent. I think he was kind of new to the duels, but as you can see, I lower my health on purpose and I place the water bucket and pick it up at the right time where it can still let all the water flow. And then of course the only way the person can get through this is by placing blocks and jumping on the blocks, but most of the time they'll just lag. Number 8. Using a bow is really important for duels. Of course, I hate to say it, but it is indeed an important factor in 1v1s. But let me just say, I hate bow spammers. They're just not cool and simply annoying. You want to save your bow shots for important times, such as when running away. If you got the right distance, you can bow them to back off without getting hit, or bow them to get an easy combo on them so it works like a long range rod, or just bow them to finish them off while they are on 1 health. Bow spammers can be really annoying, but that's just something you gotta deal with. You can even use the pillar strategy I discussed before. And bows are really important for low ping players. I mean, high ping players, yes, it is a lot of trouble having to calculate where the player is gonna exactly move, where low ping players can simply just shoot exactly at the player. But yeah, bowing is definitely an important factor. As you can see in this fight, I use my bow a lot. I hate using my bow. I normally never use my bow. I only use it for important times. So don't annoy the other person. Save them the hassle. This is not 1v1 archer duels. This is UHC. So your bow is important, but not your main priority. Number 9. Verse people you can't normally beat in a 1v1. It's okay to lose a match against someone that either got lucky, is better, or even a hacker. You gain from mistakes. You can even verse someone who's better than you every day to see improvements. Maybe get some tips off other players and just give yourself a challenge and see what a real good player plays like. So for example, in this clip I'm versing a UHC Grandmaster. So that's, I believe, the 2nd highest rank in duels, Grandmaster. So correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it goes Rookie, Iron, Gold, Diamond, Master, Legend, Grandmaster, and then Godlike. I think that's it. But yeah, so he was the 2nd highest rank for UHC. I'm just a Master, so I'm quite far away from him. But yeah, it was really fun fighting this guy. Even though I was losing, it gained me a lot of experience, and I just saw what like really good players do in this game mode. Of course, I do have higher ping than him, but you know, you shouldn't always think of the negative. See this as a positive, gain some improvements. You can see how he plays. Although he didn't really use his resources that much, like blocks or buckets or that much. He does get some really good buckets, and you can see that he blocks off my water straight away, which I will discuss later. But this guy's a really good player. Shout out to him. I think his name's Archangel. Really nice guy, but yeah. Number 10, how to use heads. Of course I told you to save heads before, but when you do end up using a head, if it's by accident or for an actual reason, you should not run away. Use heads to push all the time. Eating a golden head gives you a speed boost, which can change a 1v1 so quickly, and it easily allows you to do some game-changing combos to the other players. As you can see, whenever I use a head in this clip, I push. Most of the time when you do use your first head to push, they will most likely use another head and push you, so you need to use another head and push them, or you can back off and use a gapple, which is the safest strategy. But remember, use heads to push. Number 11, using a rod. Using a rod is very important in UHC duels. Of course I said I prefer to use blocks instead of rods, which isn't the best idea as rods are really important. Rods you can push people back and easily get some good combos on the other people. I suck at using rods if I'm gonna be totally honest though. I'm playing with high ping, which just makes my rod aim horrible. I don't know if that's just me or the ping, probably a bit of both. I do suck at aiming, and that's why I use blocks instead of rods. But make sure you do use your rod. It's really important to line up combos. In this clip, you can watch how I demonstrate my really amazing rod aim as I desperately try to hit my opponent with the rod. So you can see he just put me on half a heart. I have no clue how it didn't die to 4 damage, but let's not discuss that. We are discussing the fact of rods. So rods are still so important. Yes, this may be a bad example since I suck at using rods, but doesn't matter what ping you have, you should really try getting used to using rods. They are a massive game changer. If you don't use a rod, you will most likely get comboed all the time. You can't just simply run up to them. You will get rodded and then you will get hit hard with a massive combo. Trust me on this. So yeah, I do end up beating the guy using a rod. Yuck. Hate using rods, hate using bows. Genuinely anything that uses aim I don't like using since my ping. But bows and rods are important. They are game changing. Definitely use these things. Definitely practice them. They will win you the fight. Number 12, strafing. What is it? Well, it's simply just you moving left, right, or backwards in a fight. It's what type of movement you do. It's really important in 1v1 so your opponent messes up their hits and you can easily combo them after they mess up. I enjoy doing some S key strafing, but that's just my opinion. Just make sure to constantly go left, right, and backwards in a fight. It helps dodge. Number 13, terrain. Make sure you don't get stuck at high ground. It's not really an advantage unless you can deal high 4 damage. Other than that, the person can easily get hits off. Don't build up to high ground and don't jump on top of blocks when rushing players. If they turn and combo you, not only will they get a lot of hits, they will also give you full damage. So yeah, make sure to watch out for the terrain and height levels, but this isn't too important in UHCs. And make sure you don't do what I'm doing right now. Don't try to build up. It's stupid. It's dumb. Don't try to bridge as well. See, I just take full damage. And don't skybase. Like, that's a horrible idea. Don't skybase. It's literally just annoying the person and you will get no practice out of skybasing. It is a horrible strategy. Please, I don't want to see anyone skybasing. It is disgusting. But as you can see, I did take a lot of damage from staying at the high ground, but I think after I use the high ground, I try showing off what low ground does. I think I show it off. Wait, let's just see a second. Yeah, I do show off the low ground. You can get way better hits since you're closer to the feet of the person, which I said is the best spot to aim. And when you got high ground, well, you can't even see the person's feet most of the time. So yeah, make sure you watch the terrain and which high level you're at. It's really important. And as you can see, what I'm doing right now is I'm chasing them while changing my height level. That is not beneficial unless you want to be kind of faster. Other than that, it's really horrible because the person can turn around and combo you and then you'll take 4 damage and probably die. But remember, watch your height levels and terrain. And finally, number 14, use your bucket and block off other people's buckets, but mainly use your lava bucket. Fire damage is crazy good in UHC duels and slows down the other player, and make sure you also remove lava and water that the other player places. For example, when they place lava or water, block it off with some blocks. If you make them run out of water buckets, once you place lava and catch them on fire, you can easily win the duel. This is a really key factor since, well, you spawn with buckets, you gotta use them. Really good players use these buckets all the time. It's a really game-changing feature, so I highly recommend getting used to them and put them in comfortable hotkeys. But yeah, use them. And that's all the tips I got for today. I mean, if you really badly want another tip, you should also consider downloading a low FPS texture pack even if you got a good computer. They really help smooth fights. But yeah, thanks for watching the video, and it's your boy Loco. We out.